understand the allure of having your own firm is strong, but before you make the leap, there are some tangible, intangible, and tactical questions to address. Let's see if you're prepared to answer these 10 crucial questions. Now, when it comes to the decision of starting your own firm, there are a lot of things to consider. And although I've talked about this a ton before, as you can see, let's take some of the questions I've heard over the years and that I've had to answer myself in making that decision to start my own firm 7 years ago and address them right now. We'll begin with the tangibles, the obvious, but not necessarily easy things first. Question number 1, do I really have a loyal client list? And having a list isn't just about the names. Let me explain. It's the implicit and explicit trust these individuals have in you. So you have to ask yourself, how deep do my connections really run? How loyal are my clients really? I've seen advisors get sued by their former employers for stealing lists in their exits, but I'd argue that true relationships aren't data-based. Here's what I mean. If you've properly built trust, then wherever you choose to go, the client will follow, and there's nothing your former firm can do about that. Therefore, there's not really a need for you to steal the data, because any real relationship built on trust, you already have that data. It's yours. It's in the relationship. It's embedded. They're likely going to reach out to you once you've made the announcement to them about what you're doing. Then they're coming according to their own free will. That's loyalty. But building this type of loyalty means that you're making genuine connections with your clients through the course of the service relationship as you help them achieve their needs, wants, and desires. Question number 2, how do I measure the financial strength of my client base? You see why these are intangibles? Kind of hard, but I'm gonna explain it. And let me be clear as to what I'm talking about. Does your client list have the financial depth to support your independent venture? In my work as a consultant for RIA launches, it is clear that in most cases, you as the advisor are not managing all of your clients' money. So a great way to be at least aware of what might be available for you to manage, if you've earned this type of trust to manage it, more or even all of it, is to use like data aggregation software that allows you to get a preview of what other assets your clients might have at other financial institutions. Another great tool to gather this insight would be through your client's tax returns. Brokerage assets at another firm is going to generate a 1099, telling you about any interest or dividends paid and even capital gains and loss information if they have it. So this is an extremely helpful way to understand your clients' what we call held away assets. Because during a move to start your own firm, you are going to likely have some attrition, meaning that whatever AUM you had, you're going to have a percentage of that, a fraction of that when you move over. And it's going to be less than 100. So you need to be armed with the knowledge that you can position yourself with the right timing to ask for those assets to kind of soften some of this attrition, or the landing, if you will, as you leave your former firm and start your own. Question number 3, what tools and resources will I need immediately? Well, starting your own firm means setting up systems, client management, research tools, and more. And the question is are you prepared for that initial setup? I've covered this topic on other videos, which I will link down below in the description. But what I want to highlight here is to not make the what more important than the why. Here's what I mean by that. For each problem you face as a financial advisor starting his or her own firm, there will be at least 3 or 4 solution providers for that particular problem. And although budget might be a major constraint when employing some of these solutions, or even filtering down your choices, you'll want to base your choice on why you're doing what you're doing and for who you're doing it. It's always a better idea to build your solutions around this rather than try to pull things off the rack based off what other advisors have said and what works for them. Just think about it. Would you rather have a custom piece of clothing made for you that has all your curves and body type considered, all tailored together, or would you just rather grab something off the rack? The latter may be more convenient, but it's not going to be nearly as comfortable as you experience wearing that particular thing. Oh, by the way, if you're thinking about launching your own firm, tell me what your biggest fear is down below in the comments right now. Now I want to pivot to the intangibles. Question number 4 hones in on this. What emotions are at play for me? And I want to get real on this one. So for me, there was this deep sense of underlying doubt, if I'm just to be honest. I was asking myself, Dominique, can you really be successful without the backing of a brand name firm? And you might even be asking yourself this same question. So this is a big topic, and I'll try to be as succinct and real as possible with you. You feel this way for a good reason. Here's why. The financial services industry does a really good job of trying to make us all look the same. I've said this before. So it is up to you to do the work of developing a UVP for a special group of people. Let's unpack that. A UVP, or unique value proposition, is the offer or offers that you come up with that solve a specific set of problems for a special group of people. Let's say I'm a dentist with a practice of 10 employees, hundreds of thousands of dollars of leased equipment, problems with motivating and retaining key talent, on and on and on and on. What type of solutions would I require from a financial advisor? Well, it's probably not the development of a personal financial plan. Why not, Dominique? Everybody needs a financial plan, don't they? Yes, but is that the priority of a dental practice owner with all of those issues? Probably not. They might be concerned with innovative ways to recapture loan interest that they are paying to a financial institution for all that leased equipment that we just talked about. Or they may be concerned with benefit programs that will help them keep their employees happy and satisfied, thereby reducing their hiring costs. Make sense? So although you may lose the backing of a brand name firm, as we talked about earlier, which fuels those doubts, you can be really nimble by speaking directly to the needs of a special group of people or niche that you want to help and impact. And as you lean into this type of mentality, your doubts about being successful on your own will almost magically fade away. Question number 5. How might my clients perceive this move? Well, from a client's perspective, they might wonder about the reason behind your move. I totally get that. So my question to you is, are you ready to address those concerns transparently? Now, if you've built trust the right way, then this shouldn't be a problem. But let's just say your clients do have a problem with your moving, or start asking questions like, will this be your last move? Or what's going on with you? What's wrong? How would this impact me? All that kind of stuff. This is something that inevitably comes up. And so I want to give you a peek inside of my 90 Days to RIA launch program that helps my clients. What we do is we role play these situations after we craft a scripted plan of action for their specific firm. So whatever you're trying to build, it looks like you actually starting to have some of these combos with some of your existing clients, creating a hypothetical FAQ or frequently asked questions, and then working through those answers with someone like myself, and finally crafting a client letter or communication that addresses all of those concerns so that you can start to communicate those during your move. So you can see this is a very practical way of addressing that type of thing. Moving on, question number 6. How do I maintain my professional identity during this transition? That is, how will I ensure that my identity doesn't get lost in the middle of all this? Building a personal brand is critical to answering this question, is what I will say. This is where the importance of developing a strong personal brand and image comes into play, which all will be about you embracing your why, knowing who you are, why you're doing what you're doing, and the vision of what you're trying to build, keeping that in the forefront. When you tell that story with confidence and conviction, you're going to be walking in your true identity. Then you just let clients and or prospects take it or leave it. But in the end, you're going to be staying true to who you are. Question number 7. Am I mentally prepared for the initial challenges? I'm not going to lie. The initial phase can be daunting with unforeseen circumstances and challenges, just to speak frankly. So the real question is, am I, as in are you, mentally conditioned to face and overcome them when they inevitably show up? Remember this. You don't rise to the occasion. You usually fall to your level of preparation. So, your level of prep before you start your firm is crucial. It's key here. Look, the stress and anxiety and frustration that comes with this kind of major decision shouldn't be taken lightly. So if you have a tribe of people that you trust, lean into that. Let them know what's going on, your fears, your anxieties, your concerns, and don't bottle that in. Inevitably, it will show up in other areas, and that might even mean not being able to be fully there for your clients. So whatever it is, it may be long walks, trips to the spa, vacation, or whatever healthy self-care routine you need to implement. I think you need to make sure that you protect your mental sanity so that you can maintain all the acuity necessary to be 100% for yourself, so you can be 100% for your clients. Let me interrupt you for just a second. Do you ever feel like you're on a constant treadmill, unable to attract the right clients or retain the ones that you have already? Maybe you feel like your services are undervalued, despite the immense value that you do offer to your clients. Listen, I've written a short but powerful 21-page ebook called The 3 Moves, The Proven Path to Growing Your Financial Practice. I've compiled the answers that address the 3 common pain points of all financial professionals of finding the right people, the right price, and the right service offering. I describe these 3 moves that you can make in your business starting right now that will actually double your revenues. This is a no-brainer. And if you want to double your revenue, all you need to do is just click the link in the description to get your copy and start today. I mean, what do you have to lose? Okay, now back to the video. Now that we've addressed the tangible and intangible, I want to move on to the tactics, the strategies, the other stuff that inevitably comes up that you're going to have to face. So, question number 8 is, how do I navigate potential legal pitfalls? Compliance is usually a major topic of concern in regards to opening up a firm, but don't forget compliance also takes into account any non-solicits, non-competes, or any other agreements you may have signed with your current employer or firm. Are you aware of the legal minefields and how to tread them carefully? No matter if you're with a big or small firm and have an employment agreement, you'd be wise to have an attorney review it for you. The last thing you want is a lawsuit for any number of reasons, but mainly because it sends the wrong signal to your clients. Here's what I mean. Even if you haven't done anything wrong per se, the appearance of a lawsuit is going to erode trust. And your former employer knows this is the best chance for them to try and retain any of those clients trying to leave with you, which is the reason why they do it. So don't fall into the trap of having what you're doing to be painted in a negative light. And the best way to avoid this is to seek the advice of an attorney when you make the decision to launch your firm. Question number 9, what's the ideal timeline for this transition? So, timing is everything, thus you need to kind of chart out your plan. When is the right time to make the jump without disrupting client service or service to your client? Hard to answer, to be honest, because there will likely be disruptions, so the key is to minimize it. And this really depends on you. One factor will be the amount of capital you have available for making your move, because there are going to be costs associated with this, and you need to be ready for them. Software, office space possibly, hardware, staff maybe, marketing, compliance, just to name a few. In my 90 Days to Launch RIA program, I usually deliver a blueprint to all my clients to help them manage all the different factors that go into this timeline, into these decisions, so that you understand what will happen, when it will happen, and why it will happen. And finally, the question you've probably been waiting on, question number 10. How do I communicate this transition to my clients? The art of communication is crucial. The message, the timing, and medium, all of these are very key and they matter. Although I've alluded to it all through this video, if you've been paying attention, let me just plainly say that trust is the linchpin for everything. It is the foundation for everything in this situation. It's going to dictate how and when you communicate your move to your clients. Based on the relationship, you may need to visit some clients in person. Well, some others in your book of business may just require written correspondence or even a phone call will suffice. Again, This will ultimately be dictated by the type of relationship you've cultivated with your clients over the years, and only you know best what that is. Now, although I've tried to make this video thorough, which I hope you have appreciated, these questions are just a fraction of the questions that you may be pondering, and every advisor's journey is unique and different. So, with that being said, remember that the right guidance can make all the difference for you in this situation. And if this video has been helpful, you might want to check out 5 things about attracting clients you probably didn't know, because I bet you didn't know these 5 things that I reveal in this video about clients. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and I'll see you the next time.